Joining me now on this broadcast is Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, Binay Singh, political analyst, Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist, will also be joining us. Anirban Banerjee, political analyst, is with us. But my first question is to Mr. Abdul Basit, who is the spokesperson of the RJD. Sir, of all the qualifications that a presidential candidate must have, your party chief suggests that addressing press conference is number one?
देखिए, पिछले 8 साल की जो भी उपलब्धियां हैं मोदी जी की नजर आ रही हैं देश के साथ, उसी प्रकार का कैंडिडेट आज राष्ट्रपति को भी उन्होंने, राष्ट्रपति के लिए भी उन्होंने उसी प्रकार का कैंडिडेट, जो कि हमेशा के लिए डमी कैंडिडेट होने जा रहा है देश का। ये भविष्य के लिए अच्छी बात नहीं है कि कोई भी किसी भी प्रकार की काबिलियत या इस देश में क्या इस प्रकार के कोई भी मतलब मेंबर्स नहीं है जो राष्ट्रपति के लिए नॉमिनेट नहीं कर सकते।
नहीं तो मुर्मू जी में क्या खराबी है?
कोई भी टीवी स्टेटमेंट कोई मैडम, हाँ जी,
मुर्मू जी में क्या खराबी है?
नहीं, मुर्मू जी में खराबी नहीं है, मुर्मू जी में किसी प्रकार का, मगर अगर आप कंपैरेटिवली करें, यशवंत सिन्हा के कंपैरिजन करें तो मुर्मू जी उनके कहीं भी खड़ी नहीं होती।
बिकॉज यशवंत सिन्हा जी ने बहुत सारी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस की हैं, इसलिए
आप नो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस, दिस इज शी इज कैंडिडेट। दोनों ही प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे हैं, दोनों ही देश में जा रहे हैं, दोनों ही सबसे अपने अपने वोटर्स को लुभाने के सारे कारनामे कर रहे हैं, वो सब डजंट मैटर। बट द स्टेटमेंट
टू मी, बट इट क्लियरली मैटर्स टू योर पार्टी चीफ तेजस्वी यादव जी। मैं तो उन्हीं की बात बोल रही हूँ अभी। आई रिक्वेस्ट आवर पीसीआर टू रन एग्जैक्टली द कोट दैट ही सेड, वेयर ही इज सेइंग कि उन्होंने तो एक भी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस नहीं एड्रेस की है।
मैं अपने अध्यक्ष नहीं, प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस एड्रेस तो एक्चुअली द लैंग्वेज इज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द लैंग्वेज, तो देयर इज नो लैंग्वेज फॉर many states have different languages. She is not proper convinced to everybody, but the Yashwant Sinha is the totally 6-7 languages qualified man.
Okay.
तो उनका स्टेटमेंट को दिखाया जा रहा है।
So Sanju Verma, Yashwant Sinha knows 7 languages and Miss Murmu does not, and that is why he is a more befitting presidential candidate.
You know, Priya, I think you gave out an introduction that actually was self-explanatory, but I will just, for the benefit of your audience, tell you that Droupadi Murmu started her political career way back in 1997. She was a teacher before that. She worked as a junior assistant in the irrigation and power department of the Odisha government. She served as a councillor. She served as the head of the Rairangpur Nagar Panchayat. She was chosen as an MLA from the Rairangpur constituency, and in 2015 she became the first woman governor of Jharkhand. As you rightly said, it's a foregone conclusion, and once she becomes the president, she will be the first president to have been born after independence, the first tribal leader to hold the highest constitutional office, and the first woman leader from Eastern India to hold the highest constitutional office. You know, I did not interrupt
Sir, Mr. Basit, उन्होंने इंटरप्ट नहीं किया ना, आपको मौका मिलेगा, हमारे पास बहुत टाइम है, उनको जवाब देने दीजिए, फिर आपके पास भी आएंगे।
Thank you. I want to say one very important thing, because I think numbers speak for themselves. We all know that the president is elected via an electoral college, and the system is proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. And what data I have with me tells me that out of the 10,86,431 votes that will be cast, Priya, Droupadi Murmu already has the support of more than 6.67 lakh voters. Because don't forget, not only Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but even the BJP's national president, JP Nadda ji, has been with folded hands canvassing across states and telling even UPA allies that cutting across ideological affiliations, we should vote for a candidate befitting for the post. And BJP today, thanks to the efforts of Mr. JP Nadda, has the support of Biju Janata Dal, YSR Congress, Bahujan Samajwadi Party, AIADMK, TDP, Shiromani Akali Dal and even the Shiv Sena. So please do not belittle the legacy of Droupadi Murmu and the constitutional office which she will hold once she takes oath on July 26th.
Okay. Anirban Banerjee, what do you have to say on this? Now, Sanju Verma has rattled out all those numbers. We know that Murmu ji is going to win this election in all likelihood. Yet, what does opposition stand to gain by continuously hurling these derogatory words at her? And none of them are related to her track record, by the way. She's been called a would-be dummy candidate, a would-be rubber stamp, might be a statue.
No, all of these statements are actually related to her, because I'll give you a few reasons why. She's from the state of Odisha, right? And she started her political career in 1997, as Madam Sanju Verma just stated. First incident, 1999 in Odisha itself, Graham Staines and his children were burned to death in a car. Did you hear a single opposing statement from Madam Murmu? If you did, let me know, number one. Number two, this is a very recent incident. That was from 1999, this is from 2022. The union government led by the Narendra Modi-led BJP, they have completely curtailed the rights of the Adivasi Gram Sabha in deciding whether to give up forest land for development or whatever purposes to the companies. They have completely curtailed this right. Has Madam Murmu spoken out against this? I am asking this question because the BJP has been continuously highlighting the only single criteria in her CV, that she is from the tribal community.
Okay.
And the opposition has been repeatedly saying that this is nothing but politics of tokenism, because Madam Murmu, exactly in the similarity to Mr. Ramnath Kovind, even when he was from the Dalit community, never spoke out against atrocities against the Dalits by the BJP workers, the entire RSS Parivar workers. And when the rights of the Adivasis have been taken away by the Modi government, Madam Murmu is simply smiling at the cameras. She is lost in her dreams of becoming the next president. She has not a single word to say when the rights of the millions of Adivasis are being taken away, snatched away by the Modi government.
Let me bring our other guests in as well. We'll come back. We'll come to you.
Will benefit from Madam Murmu becoming the president.
Okay. Please allow me 30 seconds.
Okay, have your 30 seconds and then I'll bring in Binay Singh and Ashutosh Mishra also.
Thank you. Priya, let me be very clear that Droupadi Murmu, even setting aside her loyalties to the BJP, when Raghubar Das was the Chief Minister of Jharkhand, he tried to pass two acts, the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act of 1909 and the Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act of 1949. And do you know, thanks to Droupadi Murmu, these acts were not passed and the rights of tribals were preserved. So please don't sit here and give a bhashan without doing basic homework. Just 10 seconds more. In the
So did you expel Raghubar Das? Did you expel Raghubar Das from your party? If Raghubar Das was so anti-tribal, why did you keep him in your party? Why did you not expel Raghubar Das? According to your narrative, Raghubar Das was an anti-tribal chief minister. Why did you not expel him from your party?
Right. We've got your point of view, Ms. Verma. Let me bring in Binay Singh here. So the argument here is that Murmu is a biased candidate because she has had such an open affiliation with the BJP. Do you think Yashwant Sinha is going to be a neutral candidate and therefore he's better suited, that is what makes him a better suited as a president of the country?
Yeah, Priya, several comments have, come up. Comments from Congress leaders, comments from Tejashwi Yadav, and I think these comments are both feudal and racist. And look who Droupadi Murmu is. She is a teacher, she is comes from scheduled tribe community, she is a woman, she represents diversity of this country, and at last she is dark skinned. She is dark skinned. And Tejashwi Yadav, who is a product of a dynasty. Tejashwi Yadav is a product of a dynasty. And he is questioning a lady who has come from the bottom of the pyramid and she has struggled in her life to reach here. And without any family name. She don't have a, family badge or family background. So, what the opposition want. They want a person like Hamid Ansari to hold the top position, whose credential and whose commitment to India is doubtful. You want a candidate like that or you want an outspoken candidate who has got a diarrhea, is speaking on everything? And how can you compare that she is not making press conference, is making press conference a criteria to become holding the top post of this country? Where it is written that you need to have a press conference?
Mr. Ashutosh
And how
Mishra,
can you know that she cannot hold a press conference?
very interesting that Binay Singh brought up the matter of Dynasty. A lot of people would question that Tejashwi Yadav and there are several people in his family who might not be the most suited, qualified, experienced people for the post that they have held as well.
The question here is not about Tejashwi Yadav. Tejashwi Yadav will be elected or rejected by the electorate. We are talking about the post of President of India. And recently, the Chief Justice of India has pointed out the shrinking space for opposition and how the Modi government no longer takes into consideration the views of its
No.
opponents.
That is not what he has said. Sir, while that is not the debate, that is not what N.V. Ramanna has said.
India needs people
Let's just stick to what we are debating here.
So if you listen, only then you will understand. If you start heckling me like a BJP spokesperson, you will not understand.
Sir, you're bringing an unrelated matter and then you are not talking facts.
You see the relation, na? Then you will understand.
Right, please go on.
Then you will understand if you let me complete. If you keep heckling, you won't understand. So, what I was talking about the Chief Justice of India, that the government no longer takes into consideration the view of its opponents while making law. At such a time, India needs people in constitutional positions whose commitment to the Indian constitution outweighs their dedication to their political ideology and their subservience to their political masters.
Okay.
Sadly, this qualification of the
Ashutosh
NDA
Mishra,
nominee is suspect, and I will tell you why. Because why are press conferences necessary? Because it's in a press conference when you are asked a question on a particular topic, what are your views will be audible, visible to the public at large. Now, in what happens in BJP, it's either Narendra Modi who talks or Amit Shah who talks. The rest of the people have to keep mouth.
This man
you don't know. So that is the problem. They want, when you talk about why press conferences are needed, that's the reason why it's needed.
Okay, Sanju Verma,
want...
you have on purpose chosen a candidate who is not outspoken so that her strings can be pulled from behind and she will never ever speak out against it in public.
You know, Priya, I just want to say, you said Sanju Verma is rattling out numbers because I believe numbers showcase the truth like nothing else. I'll just quickly rebut Mr. Mishra's allegations, but today Modi government has 11 women ministers, the highest ever, 27 OBCs, 12 scheduled castes and 8 ministers from scheduled tribes, which basically shows that when
Why
we
don't
say
you pass the reservation bill, the women reservation bill in
it's not a
Parliament?
mere slogan.
No, why don't
It
you
is not a
pass
mere
that bill,
slogan for us.
ma'am?
We
Okay.
believe in it as an abiding work ethic. Can you ask
Why
this
don't
man
you
to please
pass the
keep
women's
quiet? I
reservation
cannot
bill in the
interrupt.
Parliament?
Why is this man interrupting Priya?
Why aren't you even bringing it? Why aren't you tabling
Why
it?
is this man being so uncouth and intolerant
What about
and
the
allowing
women's
me?
reservation
Ladies and
bill?
gentlemen,
Not
let's
even
not
2
speak
minutes.
over
Not
each
your
other.
party office, Madam Verma.
Everybody will get time to
Can
speak.
you
about the
please,
women's
can you please
reservation
hold your
bill?
horses?
Now
Priya,
that
you
you're
just have
harping
to
about
moderate the
women's
debate.
rights,
This is unfair.
women's power, what about that bill, ma'am?
Can you stop
You don't have the
being
answer.
uncouth,
You don't have the answer. That is why you have to pray to
Rona
the
band
anchor.
kariye.
Anirban Banerjee, let Sanju Verma please finish your point.
It doesn't matter what a BJP spokesperson
No,
tells
you are not
anybody.
able to
Your
Anirban
certificate does not
Banerjee
matter.
and Sanju Verma, may I
certificates
please
do not matter.
request you,
Answer the question.
both of you will get time to speak your mind. Sanju Verma, please finish your point quickly and then Anirban Banerjee, you can respond.
Yeah, I don't want him to interrupt. I was not the one who interrupted anybody, so please don't, put me on the same platform as him. Now, let me tell you one very important thing. What has the opposition been saying repeatedly? That if Droupadi Murmu becomes the president, she will favor the BJP's ideology. She will ensure that constitutional values are not promoted. She represents evil. She will promote majoritarian supremacy. I want to tell them one thing. Till date in India, there have been 105 constitutional amendments, and 76% of those constitutional amendments were carried out by the Congress, not by the BJP. We have had more than 637 ordinances, out of which over 4 ordinances were promoted, abetted and passed by the
Sanju Verma, if I could intervene politely, this is not about the government's record. This is about Droupadi Murmu. Let's just stick to that. Now, before
you need to ask the others to stick to the topic.
We will.
Their allegations.
Yes, that's precisely what I'm doing. That I'm going to stick to it.
And 10 seconds on Tejashwi.
Before
Priya, 10 seconds on Tejashwi. Tejashwi Yadav, जो 9वीं फेल हैं, 6 मिनट के भाषण में 5 बार अटक जाते हैं, वो द्रौपदी मुर्मू पर टिप्पणी करते हैं। जब राबड़ी देवी मुख्यमंत्री बनी थी 1996-1997 में, तब राबड़ी देवी क्या थी? एक मूर्ति थी। बट द्रौपदी मुर्मू has an excellent track record. द्रौपदी मुर्मू राबड़ी
so while
तेजस्वी यादव को याद दिलाओ।
there have been personal barbs, and which is the question, but before we move on, and I will come to you, Anirban Banerjee, let me just for our viewers play out a reaction from Yashwant Sinha. This was how he appealed for to the MLAs and MPs to vote for him. He is not calling Droupadi Murmu any of the names that other opposition leaders have, but he poses a bigger question. Listen in.
हमारा संविधान और संविधान के मूल्य आज खतरे में है और ये राष्ट्रपति चुनाव तय करेगा कि जिस दो रास्ते पर देश खड़ा है उसमें कौन सा रास्ता हम चुनते हैं। तो एक तरह से राष्ट्रपति का चुनाव देश के भविष्य के चुनाव के साथ जुड़ गया है। अगर वो वोट मुझे देते हैं, मुझे विजयी बनाते हैं, तो मैं उनसे वादा करता हूं कि मैं संविधान की रक्षा के लिए जो भी आवश्यक कदम होगा वो अवश्य उठाऊंगा। आज देश के भविष्य की लड़ाई हमारे सामने है। आज संविधान की रक्षा की लड़ाई हमारे सामने है। ये दो व्यक्तियों की लड़ाई नहीं है, ये दो विचारधाराओं की लड़ाई है।
अनिर्बान बैनर्जी, ये कौन सी विचारधाराओं की लड़ाई है, और अगर मुर्मू जी इलेक्ट हो जाती हैं तो विच कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल वैल्यूज विल बी इन डेंजर?
On one side there's a fascist party, and on the other side there's the combined opposition. Therefore, when the constitution, when the reference to the constitution is made by Mr. Sinha, it is the same constitution that the RSS had rejected. When the constitution was adopted in our assembly, the RSS had rejected the same constitution. And now the RSS
Sanju Verma, please let him speak. They are
at the government, and if their candidate wins, this is the very constitution that will be simply abolished.
Okay.
This is the very constitution that is in danger, what Mr. Sinha was referring to.
Okay.
Therefore, it is a fight between two ideologies. That is very correct. It is not about a fight between two persons. On one side, there is a fascist ideology,
Binay Singh,
and on the other
constitution
side,
is in danger. Fascist forces are going to take over the Rashtrapati Bhavan tomorrow.
Whatever statement you are going to make, you can't cover up what you have said. Your statements are really feudal. Your statements are really racist. And this can't be allowed in a democracy. And one more thing. This is the same Yashwant Sinha who said that Lalu Yadav is a frustrated guy. He is same Yashwant Sinha who said that Mulayam Singh Yadav is an ISI agent. And he is the same Yashwant Sinha who is going to get support from this Lalu Yadav and Mulayam Singh Yadav. So his stand is questionable. He has been changing his stands, and he is angry because he was not able to get a proper job in the ruling dispensation. He was not able to get a proper engagement. So that's why he is opposed to the Modi regime. There is no other reason. He wanted an engagement. He wanted an adjustment. That was not offered to him. He was not engaged. So that's a frustration of our, presidential candidate.
Abdul Basit,
Mr. Yashwant Sinha.
Abdul Basit,
400 MPs.
He's a frustrated
Abdul Basit, आप जिस कैंडिडेट को अपोज करते हैं वो your other allies in opposition are saying represents a fascist ideology. Can you please tell me what is Yashwant Sinha's ideology?
Secularism is fantastic ideology for India.
Acha. And that was Yashwant Sinha's ideology since when?
Frustration is his ideology.
Very secularism.
Okay, Yashwant Sinha is very secular.
400 MPs one-sided. Just listen. 400 MP.
Okay, so Yashwant Sinha was
one-sided voting.
Yashwant Sinha is the upholder of constitutional values. Did this status apply to him only after 2021 March last year, or was it the same 2018 के पहले भी?
Secularism is power for.
Priya?
After that.
नहीं सर, सेक्युलरिज्म तो बहुत पावरफुल है, वो उस बात से तो कोई मना ही नहीं कर रहा है. मैं बस ये जानना चाह रही हूँ कि अगर मुर्मू इज रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ एन इविल आइडियोलॉजी, एंड आई सी आशुतोष मिश्रा रेजिंग हिज हैंड, यू कैन प्लीज कम इन विद योर व्यूज ऑन दिस. व्हाट आइडियोलॉजी इज यशवंत सिन्हा रिप्रेजेंटिंग, मिस्टर आशुतोष मिश्रा?
The ideology that Mrs. Droupadi Murmu represents is what Sardar Patel also called out. If you remember, they have built a huge statue of Sardar Patel, but it was Sardar Patel who said that it was RSS ideology, the poisonous RSS ideology, which was responsible for God's sake killing Mahatma Gandhi. And today we have again, I mean, it's that ideology which has been criticized.
Are you insane?
And her dedication to that is not questioned, because the Culture Ministry has brought out a booklet in which they are now equating Savarkar, who was an accused in the murder of Gandhiji, with Mahatma Gandhi.
So Sanju Verma, because this government has in general been accused of indulging in activities which are pro certain ideology, now they have picked a candidate who's always been affiliated with their rank and file. So obviously she will act according to the whims and fancies of the government, and she's soft-spoken. She doesn't put out speak at press conferences. She doesn't hurl allegations at her opponent. So obviously she'll just say she'll be a yes woman in the Rashtrapati Bhavan for you. That's why you've chosen her.
You know, Priya, you are a proficient anchor, and I'm sure you'll agree that being soft-spoken is a virtue and it is not, a vice. And, I just want to say one thing. Yahan par one of the panelists who represents Mamata Banerjee's ideology said Murmu was quiet when Graham Staines was murdered. Wasn't Yashwant Sinha quiet when the Birbhum massacre happened, when 12 people were burnt alive? Wasn't Yashwant Sinha quiet when the, Hindus were asked to leave in the post-war violence in Bengal, something which even the Kolkata High Court has castigated the Mamata Banerjee government for? Wasn't Yashwant Sinha quiet when a TMC leader was involved?
Anirban Banerjee, BJP says fascist ideology is the shoe is on the other foot. Mr. Banerjee.
Is a Congress acolyte.
No, first of all, Madam Verma is blatantly lying on your show. That is number one.
Droupadi Murmu, but she has been a
You are a blatant liar, Madam Verma.
She has a brilliant track
I'll give
record.
this out very straight. You are a blatant liar.
Sir, let's not get abusive. You are calling her a liar. Please provide proof to substantiate your claim. Let's just not get abusive.
If she can blatantly lie and you won't stop
counter
her,
it with facts.
I have to call her out, call out the lie.
Yes, but please don't use abusive language.
Lying on your channel.
In which your TMC leader...
Sanju Verma?
What is abusive? If someone lies, we call them a liar. When someone lies, we call them a liar.
That is objectionable.
Is there any other synonym for a liar?
I am not the speaker. I can't expunge words.
No, you used liar. I'll call her that.
Sir, there's another word that you use which is objectionable. Let's just keep it civil.
Give me a synonym for the word liar, I'll use that for her.
This is not a dictionary debate, sir. This is not a vocabulary debate.
Being a responsible, being a representative.
Sanju Verma, can I please have silence? Mr. Anirban Banerjee.
But she is lying.
Yes, why?
She is
Tell us why.
lying on your show and you're allowing it.
Counter it. We want to know how. Give us facts. Don't give us adjectives. Give us facts. We want to know why.
They don't have logic now. They get pissed off.
Every so-called fact in the form of allegation that she gave out was a lie.
Don't have logic.
Counter it.
How? If there is no fact, what counter fact can I give?
So you just can't dismiss something as a lie without having the reasons to believe so, right?
Those were blatant lies, not a fact. Not a single figment of fact was there. So what can I give as a counter?
So you'll summarily dismiss. Sanju Verma, he can't counter you because what you're saying is not worth countering.
Priya, he cannot counter me because I have given data, I have given facts. I have told you Droupadi Murmu has had an excellent track record. I showcased this TMC acolyte hypocrisy by showing how Yashwant Sinha was quiet when Hamsa Kali debate happened, when the Hindu genocide in Bengal happened, forceful violence, when there was the Birbhum massacre in which TMC councillor was involved.
There again,
Fine. I think we've just veered away from the basic debate, which was about what ideology is being represented, what qualifies a person to be an ideal candidate. The outcome is known to one and all. One would just expect that while there are differences of opinion, the derision is not so apparent, because eventually it's a democracy. Droupadi Murmu will be the president of everyone in this country. Thank you, gentlemen, and Sanju Verma for joining me.